thank you for your trust and confidence in me. I won't let you down. My fellow judges, actually I should probably say former fellow judges. It's been an incredible 5 years that I will never forget. You've been my friends and colleagues for these past few years, and it's not easy to walk away from that robe in the middle of my career. Trust me, I've heard it daily for a month now. It would kind of go something like this. Someone would walk up to me and say, "Congratulations." But it wasn't the usual congratulations, you know, where they're really, truly happy and excited for you. It was more of like a question. Congratulations? Followed quickly with, "Are you crazy? You're giving up being a judge? You're going to have to work more? You're going to have to put up with Kevin Lyons every day?" I would just politely smile. And I would remember a saying that a former state's attorney would always say. And for those of you that know Kevin Lyons, you know he has a lot to say. And to remember just one statement says a lot. But he would say this: being a prosecutor is about doing the right thing, not the popular thing. This move was not popular by many. If you don't believe me, just ask my mom. But under the circumstances, here's to doing the right thing. When I think about days like today and the opportunities that I've been given, it always reminds me of a story that happened when I was 12 years old. Now, I know some of you have probably heard this story, so for those of you that have, do what Judge McCuskey has done for 3 years, just ignore me. But that summer, a lady by the name of Darla Jewell stopped by our small Nebraska home. It was Nebraska, don't even get me started on the names. But Darla Jewell stopped to talk to my dad that day about starting a girls' softball team. You see, she knew that my dad he worked for a local feed company, and he sponsored the men's fast pitch team. And so she knew that he was very active in the community. She knew he loved to help the community. She knew he already sponsored a team. And she knew that he had a 12-year-old daughter that was dying to play baseball that next summer. So she stopped by her house, talked to my dad for a few minutes. And when she left, I asked my dad what that was about. And he said she wants to start a girls' softball team. He was so excited. I was not. I know it may be surprising, but I thought, what do we need softball for? We have baseball. My brothers, who were all older than me, they all played Pee-wee and then pony baseball, and I was ready to play baseball the next summer. So my dad sat me down, and he told me about how it would be better for my friends, that we would probably get to have more opportunities, and that doors would open for us that otherwise may not open. Plus, that way you don't have to beat all your brother's records. That part I could understand. I remember that conversation very well because it was a few weeks later that he was killed in a car accident. I went on to play softball that next summer, and it was the same summer that Kevin Lyons was sworn in as the Peoria County State's Attorney. We didn't know then how our lives would intersect years later, and here we are. Softball did open a lot of doors for me. My dad was right. I went and played in high school. We played all over the state. I went on to play in college and played all over the country. I went to places I never even dreamed about, saw things that I never even knew existed. My entire world up to that point was our small little community, our small little Nebraska town of 231. So I appreciate the doors that opened for me, eventually leading me to Peoria. But when I look back on that conversation with my father, it doesn't just apply to softball. It applies to many different conversations you have in life. Conversations about opportunity, about understanding, acceptance, recognizing that there's a place for everyone in this world, about taking chances because you never know what door's around the corner. 13 years later, one of those doors led me to the Peoria County State's Attorney's Office. And the person on the other side was Kevin Lyons. I would be remiss today if I didn't say a few words about Kevin and Jerry Brady. They have been the only two state's attorneys in Peoria County for the past 31 years. 31 years. That's a long time. Some of my soon-to-be assistants haven't even lived that long. Kevin and Jerry steered this county through some of the toughest trials and tribulations that it's seen. And today, I'm ready to take that wheel. Kevin and Jerry, two wonderful individuals who could not be more opposite. One worked 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The other worked 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. One was very tall. One was not so tall. One shared my interests of sports and the outdoors, and, well, one's outdoors today. Jerry never had a bad thing to say about anyone. Kevin occasionally will say something nice about someone. But despite their differences, there was one common thread. It was their passion to serve the citizens of Peoria County, their commitment to this community, their desire and devotion to every day make it better for the individuals around them. I mention their differences today because that's how the state's attorney's office should be. It should not be run by one particular person or one particular type of person. It takes all sorts of shapes and sizes and people and personalities to bring justice. A little bit of everything. So on the pages of history, of progress and prosperity, and of moving forward, we mark a tiny little spot today, September 1st, 2019. Peoria County's first female state's attorney was sworn in. Here's to a little bit of everything. Thank you.